Sometimes life doesn't go the way you like it. Sometimes you fall down. Sometimes you fall down pretty far. But what I learned in life is sometimes when you fall down, you got to get back up. And sometimes, well, I'm not even saying it right. The Traxxas TRX4 is getting all the way up. There's no doubt about the California coastline. It's beautiful. And Corona Del Mar seems to be a rock crawler's like paradise. I can't believe like there's a beach right there and then this rock outcrop ready for the Traxxas TRX4 to get its teeth wet for us to test out our first crawler from Traxxas with its all new chassis, all the technology that's in there, locking diffs, 2-speed, scale body, licensed Land Rover Defender body. It's freaking beautiful. Here it is in slow motion, second gear, showing you that it's not that fast, maybe 10 miles an hour. But underneath, this is what you get. Standard body-on-frame design, brushed motor for better feel, 2-speed transmission, remote locking diffs, like 3 stages. It's freaking incredible. I can't even explain how much this car makes me happy just by the technology in it. Thank you, Traxxas. Let's get the 2 questions out of the way. How much and how fast? $399 gets you this almost ready to run. You got to get batteries and a charger, so you're going to spend, you can cheat out and get another $100. Speed at the low speed, maybe a couple miles an hour. Flip it in the second gear. That brushed motor doesn't go that fast. It's made for crawling and scale movement, not going down the street at 20. It's very top heavy. Maybe 10 miles an hour. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not fast at all. But it's kind of fun because it's top heavy and it looks realistic. So you're going to get more of this on the price than it is speed. But once you see this, what it can crawl out of the box with the stock tires, the heavy body on top, no weighted wheels or anything like that, it's pretty impressive. The 2-speed transmission from the remote, flick the switch, you go from high to low gear, gives you more torque on the bottom, gives you more wheel speed when you need it. So you need to sometimes you got to get those wheels burning on the rocks to get up over something. So click it in the low gear and, we're starting at the baby side of this rock system here. And it's a little bit up and down. Ben's new at this. He's got to figure out how to go forward sometimes, but here we go. Remote locking diffs. Pretty amazing. They've had this on some other cars like the Summit, but man, it works. Not some of the other companies that couldn't get theirs to work. This one, you flip that Radio Shack switch on the top and you got full-time 4-wheel drive, and then you can unlock the sides or front and back, or have it unlocked totally. Pretty amazing. I'm going to say it probably 200 times, stupid word, but hey, it's amazing. There's one big major flaw in solid axle cars, and that's the center pumpkin. It usually hangs down like too far. Traxxas came up with this awesome portal axle thing. Check it out. It's freaking amazing. They moved the transmissions out to the axles, so the actual pumpkin in the center is tiny. It gives you way more ground clearance. So you got, you're standing on just the wheels are actually clear from the axles down. It's an awesome design. You can crawl over full Coronas. You can tell Corona's a sucky beer because people even leave soldiers down at the beach. Finish your beer, Let's talk about the body. It's pretty scale. It feels a little bigger than, say, RC 4-wheel drive or an axial kit, but it looks right. Here's another good view of those axles, and the transmission's moved out to give that ground clearance. Pretty impressive stuff. The body gives you the roof racks, gas, a jack in the back, but you get to add all your accessories, and Proline sells a keg and some coolers and stuff like that. We'll be throwing that on there. Everybody likes to put some wacky stuff on top to make it look like they're cool. We're cool too. As this trail gets a little harder, we're just more and more impressed. This was our first actual run with the car. Ben really has no crawling skills whatsoever, so it's a perfect candidate. It's ready to run. And he's figuring out how to get the wheel speed and kind of go slow over stuff. The body is a little bit top heavy, I'm not going to lie. There's a shot of the remote locking diffs. It's wire activated. A little switch on the top gives you 3 positions. Like I said, it's a Radio Shack switch, pretty funny looking. What are we going to do when Radio Shack goes out of business? Get our switches, It doesn't jump. We tried it. It goes right over the edge and falls down. It's not fast enough to jump off stuff, but we did try it. XL5 HV, you can use the 3S. We used the 2S. You can go a little faster with the 3S. You can see some of the small micro servos. There's 3 on there to do the 2-speed and the front locking, rear locking diffs. I suppose you can take one out and have it so it only unlocks one. Do what you want. It's pretty cool. We're going to get to another shot quick of the rear pumpkin. You can see it's pretty cool that it's lifted up. Like I said, you get a lot more ground clearance. It's pretty amazing what they've done with that. Pretty smart. Traxxas, you're smart. We like you. getting back to the performance, the tires, they're not as soft as some of the aftermarket stuff, so you're gonna get a little bit less traction. This had a lot of sand, so it's pretty low traction, but the rocks were super high grip. You know, this is the fun part of crawling that a lot of people don't understand. You want to make it look like it's a real car driving over stuff, so you're not trying to blast over thing. You know, it's not a bomber. You're not going 20 and jumping stuff. You're going slow, trying to make it look like this LR4 or Defender is a real car. That's the kind of the point of it. And then you get to check out the beach, hey little guy, and it's awesome. Can't even explain how awesome this spot is, Corona Del Mar. If you're in the area, you got to go down. There's a lot of people around, but some of the places you get to crawl up on here, this literally on the beach, is really fun. And of course, you get to hang out at the beach, but also explore the capabilities of your truck. One of the things that we did break, which was clear in view, is that the plastic fender got caught on a rock and kind of ripped it off a little bit. But those are war marks, like a tattoo that you go off-road. You know, it's like people that armor all the wheels on their Jeep and never take it off-road. This one goes off-road. We got some battle scars. The forward to reverse transition, as you saw a couple times when Ben went backwards, it wasn't that he shorted out and stuck his finger in a socket. It's a little abrupt. The controller is not the the best controller in the world. It's ready to run. It does what it's supposed to do. I'm not really knocking it, but a better controller will give you a little bit better throttle feel, especially with brushed motors. It should be much smoother than it was. Like the minimum drive off reverse was too high. So, you wanted to back up slowly. It kind of like shot you backwards. So kind of my only knock on the electronics. And I can imagine in 3S it would be worse with just more power. So something, you could always upgrade the electronics. But out of the box, this thing is pretty rad. The tires, are solid. You can see that they do have the flex that you kind of need to get some extra grip. You could upgrade the tires easily, and the foam and all the crazy tricks that they do. If you've never seen like what a real competition crawler can do, I mean, it kind of goes up things that you couldn't imagine. It looks like magic. This one doesn't do magic, but it's pretty close. It's like a cheap card trick, but you can do some crazy stuff with this TRX4, and we did it. It was fun. We had a really good time. What's more fun, instead of me filming it and breaking my knee, would be with two people, because what happens is you kind of do follow me, and let's see who can get up this, and like you would do in the trails with your buddies, get out and say, hey, I found the spot, let's go see if we can get over it. So get two. Good salesman here. You should always buy two. Get a 2 for 2 sale. Pay one, get one extra when you pay for the extra one. But you can see the articulation. I thought the shocks were a little small. They're very scale when you look at them, but they, I guess I can't complain. The truck sat upright when it was going, and it had the right articulation, pretty crazy. The axle height was amazing. You can see how high it looks. It looks like you got these big 35-inch wheel tires on there, and crawl over anything. You only get 2 color options. You get the cool red and the the gunmetal here, which they're going to come out with a clear one where you can do your own, but you can't really complain. 2 options. They used to have a bunch more. The full review of the Traxxas TRX4 is in Velocity RC Cars magazine, issue 26. Pick it up after you buy this, because you need one. And if you caught my comment about breaking my knee, here it is live.
That was
Great.
a knee noise. Not the sound of a whale dying.
You'll get the cheek.
Knee. Is that your knee hitting the rock?